Okay. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner. Classic slash non-classic. This is episode number 190 and Doubleshot number 125. Excuse me. We got two Superman trades for you. First up is Superman, Nightwing and Flamebird, Volume 1. Collecting issues of Action Comics. Because it's not right in the back. I don't know why DC did this. It collects Action Comics 875 to 879 and number 12, and supposedly Secret Files or Jaws, and even though all they do is collect the profile pages here. Now, 875 to 879 is simply one second. So, anyways, this is just the adventures of Nightwing and Flamebird, what they were doing. Basically, they're the ones running the title now, not Superman. Basically, who Nightwing and Flamebird are, they are superheroes who originate from Kryptonian legend. Nightwing, you probably think Nightwing. Is that Dick Grayson? No, it's not Dick Grayson. It's, here he is. This is Superman's adopted son, Chris Kent, even though his real name is Lord Zod. And yes, both his biological parents do show up in here. And this is Flamebird, who is really... I can find her name here. Here we go. Thora Akbor. Now, there are 2 volumes to this one, to this particular graphic novel series. Now, just doing their adventures. They're just hunting Kryptonian spies that Chris Kent's biological father sent to Earth. Yeah, hunting them down. Heck, there's even an appearance by General Lane, and he's actually quite happy for this. I mean, he says, "Oh, it makes our job quite easier." It ends on a very nice note. Though there is an appearance in here by Reactron and Metallo. Yeah, the same people who caused the death of Zor-El, the father of Supergirl. Yes, they caused the father. That was back in the New Krypton storyline. The particular arc that started this particular type of thing. The annual is these two's the origin of how these two met. Oh, and Nan, the guy who was a mute. And here's the thing: Zod, Fiora, and Nan are based upon how Richard Donner wrote them back in the Superman movies. Yep. But the writer of this is Greg Rucka. Yep, Greg Rucka. Here's some nice artwork by the artist who is the artist. So there were several pencils on here: Eddie Burrows, Cindy Tells, Diego Amos, and Perry Perez. The artwork here is pretty good. This book came out in 2009. It'd be kind of hard to track this down, but I do recommend it if you're a Superman fan. Suffice to say, I'm not really a big Superman fan, but I did enjoy reading this. So I'm going to give this book a 8.5 out of 10. It's a decent read, and I do recommend it. I don't know why, though, that they have to have for Nightwing, they have to have his costume basically where it has the bat symbol on it. That's just quite bizarre. Now, this book I had to put here with this one, too, because this one kind of continues where this one leaves off. This is the first crossover between all the books, first major one. This is Codename Patriot. Now, this covers several books. And by the way, this trade collects the entire crossover. This book covers Superman 1 New Krypton number 6, which is where the crossover starts. Action Comics 880, Supergirl Volume 5, number 44, Superman number 691, and Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen Special number 2, which, spoiler, because you know this book is like about 6 years old right now, 6 maybe 7 years old. Jimmy Olsen dies in the special. Yes, Jimmy Olsen. This is, of course, I should also mention this is pre-Flashpoint DC Universe. That's what it takes place in. At the ending of issue 5 of Superman Born to Krypton, General Zod is nearly assassinated. He is shot by a Kryptonian, and that leads to Superman, who at this point was just going by Commander L, and he was wearing a military uniform with the House of L symbol on, like right here in this chest. He decides to go back to Earth, as be gone for like maybe a couple months, maybe. Even though he was told to basically just ignored, even just abandoned the Earth. He still kept in contact with them. Like he appointed Mon-El and Guardian as protectors of Metropolis while he was away. And he did something interesting though. At the end of issue 6, he puts on his Superman costume for the first time since issue 1 of Superman No Krypton. I know this because I recently read the 12-issue maxi series Superman World of Krypton. It continues in Action Comics number 880, which that was also the issue where Lois told Superman that their adopted son is alive and he is roaming around as Nightwing. Yes. Of course, the Supergirl issue, which is written by Sterling Gates. As a matter of fact, Sterling Gates, I think he writes just that one issue alone. I think so. James Robertson writes I believe he writes the Superboy, excuse me. Let's see. I know both Rekka and, yeah, it's James Robertson. James Robertson writes mainly the Superman War on the Krypton stuff, and he writes Action Comics. Rekka writes War on the Krypton and Superman. This is during a time when they were writing the books, and this is still very interesting. Despite the fact I knew of one person I was watching all the reviews of, he didn't like the new Krypton stuff that much. I kind of find it enjoyable. I mean, it's probably a fresh take on the Superman title, probably anybody done in years. And you also get a chance to see these two show up in the book too. Reaction on Metallo. And this guy here on the cover, that's Codename Assassin. He's Jonathan Drew. He's sort of Jimmy Olsen's personal arch nemesis, who does kill him at the end of who does kill him in the special. Though he does later come back. He doesn't stay that very long. This is real. Oh, and just note, Superboy does not show up at any point during this crossover. He is by far the only him along with Steel are the only two members of the Superman family heroes who don't show up in this crossover. Well, I think Superboy has a reason because he's in Teen Titans. As for Steel, I have no idea why he doesn't, though. And Nice does show up in the Jimmy Olsen special. The artwork in here is done by several different artists. Here's the artwork is done by Pete Williams, Bit, John Sable, Joe. Oh, excuse me. That's the anchors. Pete Woods, Julian Lopez, Mel Ingle, Renee at Ito, Renee Gleeds, Bernard Chang, and Eduardo Pensilia. I'm sorry if I may have mispronounced those names, but the artwork is really good in here. Yes, the artwork, even though it's done by seven artists, they do a fantastic job. Keep the story coherent. Now, it's kind of good that both Greg Rucka and James Robertson writes War on the Krypton at this point in time. It keeps the story flowing fresh. And it keeps these two guys' mindset on this one crossover, though after this crossover, everything goes back the way it was before for like a brief period of time, and then at the end of the World of Krypton series, Brainiac comes back. Yeah, Brainiac. You have to read the Superman Brainiac story, why the fact that he wants to take Kandor again. By the way, the story is written by Jeff Johns. The Superman Brainiac story is really good. You should check it out. This is still a real... You should check this one out too. Though it would be kind of hard to track this one down because this trade is like... This is a 7-year-old trade. And I'm surprised this thing lasted for so long. Yeah, released in 2009. That's how old this dang book is. But I do recommend it if you can try to track it. You can probably find it on Amazon if you wanted to. But it's still a very gripping story. It's kind of like a murder mystery in a way. But we know who the murderer is. It's just like the whole point of the story is catching a murderer. Which at the end of the story, the supposed assassin, he gets killed at the end of the story. Also, the character Atlas shows up in here. No, he's not the Greek god. He's just he is a character who shows up in Atlas Coming, and that was the storyline that came before the whole new Krypton stuff. And I believe that story was written by James Robertson, if I'm not mistaken. So it was not James Robertson actually had a use for it, even though it was a very small role in here. But a lot of the stuff that happened in World of Krypton, Action Comics, Supergirl, and Superman led to this very storyline. And it does pay off really well. just suffice to say, you can't have storylines do that nowadays. Or with stuff like Doomed or The Culling, where you have stuff built up in those books prior to that, and then you have a disappointing crossover. This is a very exciting crossover. I do recommend it. I give this book a 9 out of 10. It's a great book. Definitely recommend pick it up. Alright? Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be episode 182 and Doubleshot number 126. If it is 126. So I'll have to think of something for that one. Until then, see you there. Bye.